Taliban calls on Russia and Ukraine to end crisis through peaceful means.
Here's a summary of the article.
The Taliban calls on Russia and Ukraine to resolve the crisis through dialogue and peaceful means, according to a statement released by the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. The statement reads, "The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan is closely monitoring the situation in Ukraine and expresses concern about the real possibility of civilian casualties. The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan calls for restraint by both parties. All sides need to desist from taking positions that could intensify violence. The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, in line with its foreign policy of neutrality, calls on both sides of the conflict to resolve the crisis through dialogue and peaceful means. The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan also calls on parties to the conflict to pay attention to safeguard in the lives of Afghan students and migrants in Ukraine." Earlier, video footage was released showing Russian and Ukrainian aircraft being shot down of Ukraine's capital Kyiv. Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan statement concerning the crisis in #UkrainePic.
This post received a score of 79,000, with an upvote ratio of 88%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
"And I thought 2021 was the peak of human evolution.
What did we do to make you think like that, sir?
January 6th and praising an enemy's head of state and somehow still not in trouble. # you know who I'm talking about."
Zelensky stood up to both Trump and Putin, and this is the thanks he gets.
"It's a tragedy and almost traitorous. The whole world sees this and thinks, holy shit, if I'm aligned to the West and someone attacks me they won't do shit to help me besides condemning the enemy."
TBF is in everything with geopolitics, the takeaway is always more than a snappy one-liner. In this case the West is trying to help as much as possible with arms, sanctions and taking refugees while trying to avoid WWII. Could NATO send troops and get Russia out of Ukraine today? Absolutely. That would mean direct fighting of two nuclear-armed groups and the almost inevitability of actual nuclear Armageddon. When New York, Paris, London, Moscow and St. Petersburg are radioactive craters with millions dead, will we look back and say, well, at least the West did something? My point is this whole situation is extremely complex and boiling it down to one-liners like that isn't helpful in actual discussion of what is going on.
Agreed 100%. But this is Reddit and the majority of users here either refuse to understand nuance or choose to be ignorant. There's a reason Ukraine wanted to join NATO, that way they had troop support from NATO allies. Western nations would absolutely defend a NATO member, but Ukraine is not in NATO. We are doing the best we can. Russia's economy is being crippled through sanctions and many countries are standing united against them. I'm so sick of the doom and gloom crowd trying to grandstand for Ukrainian citizens.
You know you welcome anyone saying stuff like this, but holy fuck it feels satirical when they say it. Reminds me of that South Park episode where ISIS is boycotting the Washington Redskins.
Don't make the same mistake we did. You don't want the USA to show up. They never leave, chill out. The Taliban.
Mission accomplished, POTUS.
Chill out, the Taliban.
So anyway, I started blasting, also the Taliban.
We'll achieve peace. By force, also the Taliban and Bender.
I cherish peace with all my heart. I don't care how many men, women, and children I need to kill to get it. Peacemaker. That's good, we're using that Taliban.
Write that down. Write that down. Taliban propaganda artist.
Right? Taliban.
Didn't have this on my 2022 bingo.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.